Hi, I'm Jamie and I'm a parent.
And I'm Glenn and I do research on video games. Welcome to this episode of Great Games, Better Brains.
We're going to be talking about different Wii games, and we're going to give you a handful of games that you can start using at home.
And we're also going to talk about the parental controls on the Wii, because one of the nice things about some of the newer consoles like the Wii or the PlayStation is that you have some parental control over what kids access, both on the internet, the games they play, who they talk to on the internet. And so we're going to show you not just some games, but we're also going to walk you through, literally behind us, what you can do to control the access that your kids have to some of the stuff that the Wii provides.
Okay, so let's say I have a teenager and then I have a younger grade school child and I want to give them different...
You can do that. There's a little problem with the Wii. It's not really a problem, but you can control it, and you can literally set the kinds of games that the kids can play based on the ratings that those games have. And so we'll talk about that later. I'll show you how you can do that. That's a good question. But some of the games that your kids play, do you guys have a Wii?
We have a Wii. We have Big Brain Academy, and we have a bunch of other games.
Yeah.
But that one in particular is more of an academic one and not such the fun one.
Yeah, there are some great games out there for younger kids, and we're going to talk about basically 2 or 3 for younger kids and 2 or 3 for older kids. And a couple of the ones that I really like is Big Brain Academy. We talked about that in our last episode, and you obviously play it. I talked about how my 16-year-old son and I almost have some competition because we're pretty competitive, and I like to prove how big my brain is compared to his little tiny 16-year-old teenage brain. But it's a great game because it forces, through some really nice gameplay, it forces kids to do things to their head that they don't even know that's going on. And it's a fun little activity, and it forces kids to go through about 5 different areas of your brain that are going to help them be more successful in school. One of the things I also like about Big Brain Academy, it has something called the flow factor built in, and that kind of is a little confusing maybe, but the idea of a good game, a good video game, literally will measure how successful a kid is at a particular game and say, oh, if they're really successful, I need to make it harder the next time they play it. If they're struggling with a particular part of the game next time the kid gets in will go, oh, that's Glenn, and I need to make it a little easier for him. So Big Brain Academy does, I think, a really good job of that. It keeps kids in the flow, not too hard, but not too easy. So there's always that kind of a competition to do better, and it's a little harder. And it forces kids to get smarter just by playing. The more they play, the smarter they get.
So even though you're competing against the other person, you're also competing at your own level.
Yeah, exactly. It truly measures. Every kid creates their own account with a me on the Wii, and the little character, little avatar, and every time I log in as me, it will say, oh, that's Glenn, and here's the level. So not only can I compete with Jake, but the game will always force me to get better, no matter whether it just forces me to get better. I love it. It's a great game. You guys got to try it out. A couple other games. One is called Smarty Pants. Have you played that one?
I haven't played
Smarty Pants is a great game. It's just trivia. It's just fun to play with. It's almost like a party game. You can play with your family, play it at, just jump in by yourself. But it lets you set some age-appropriate levels for questions. And you can play it by yourself with 3 other people with a total of 4. There's some pass and play kinds of stuff going on there. It's just a fun trivia game that you can play with your family. I really like it just because, again, you can set the levels.
Right. And that makes a difference when you're dealing with younger students and kids at home, and you want the whole family to be able to enjoy it.
Yeah, there's going to be a blended family with a 5-year-old kid and a 16-year-old teenager.
Right.
Can I play that game together? And it will, because it's going to know who you are based on your Wiimote. I mean, so if I log in as a 5-year-old, it knows who I am based on how I logged in. You're a 16-year-old,
right.
It knows me as an adult, and it will ask good questions. So that's a good game. There's another one called My Word Coach. Your kids have trouble in school, or do you know parents whose kids have trouble in school with language arts and sentence structure and nouns and verbs, right?
I do. My kids do pretty well with it, but I know some of my other friends have kids that really struggle with that.
There's a game called My Word Coach, and you think about the title, My Word Coach, it literally will coach you through, and it sounds like, oh crap, that's just school. I mean, but don't tell your kids it's school, just tell them it's a game, let them play, and they'll go out and literally, and you can set lots of stuff in there again as a parent, but you can set lots of stuff to help them do language better, increase their vocabulary, work on sentence structure. It's a really good game as well for younger kids.
And is it multiplayer as well?
Yeah, you can set it up. It's really designed more for an individual player, but you can get into that together as well. Yeah.
So Sounds like a good tool.
Yeah.
What about Endless Ocean?
Yeah, that's a game that I saw an actual middle school teacher use, a science teacher use this game actually in their class. Endless Ocean, you're on a boat, you're a scuba diver, and you have to jump under the water, swim around, and take photographs of the different animals that are underwater. So you learn about environment, you learn about different ecology, mini environments, animals, predators, food pyramid. I was kind of lost on the whole science thing, but I started playing, and because I have to swim and you're moving around, paddling your feet, it's just awesome. You're having fun collecting points by taking pictures, learning about animals, learning about the environment. It's really good. A 7th grade teacher said she's going to continue to use it, and even if your kid's teacher doesn't use it, you can use it at home to help kind of supplement the science instruction that's going on.
So not only are they getting the intellectual side of it, but they're also getting the physical side of it.
There's some
you're
physical.
swimming?
Oh yeah, there's some. If you've never played Wii games, you got to try it because you're going to get worn out. At least I do as an old man. Moving your arms around and doing all that stuff. It just it's a workout. And the scuba, your sharks are chasing you. So you're going nuts. That's the one I like. But yeah, there's some movement. You get up and move around.